Welcome to the Host Fatty tutorial on how to edit your front page. In this tutorial, we will show you how to edit the front page for MP Covered. Upon logging into your website and being greeted with the dashboard, we will use our mouse cursor to find the title Pages, and hovering over it, we will select All Pages. Next, this will take us to a page that displays all the current pages available on the website. Next, we will use our mouse to find the page titled Front Page. As you can see when hovering over, we have the options to edit, quick edit, trash, view, or edit with Elementor. Please note that we will edit with Elementor as that is the page builder we are using. Please allow for a moment for the page builder to load. As you can see, that took a little bit longer than required, and I apologize for the wait. We have now loaded the front page, and using our mouse cursor, we will first move across the page, and you will see upon selecting a section, the entire section will be highlighted in blue. We will then select Edit the Section, and on the left hand side a new bar will appear. Here we are able to stretch the section, change the content width, columns gap, height, vertical alignment, the overflow, and so forth. In the structure setting, you can see we have it set as one column at 100% width. This is due to the fact that we only have one column in the section. Next, we will go to the Style tab. Here we have the option to add a background image, a background color, change the positioning of the background image. As you can see, we currently have it set to center, and if we set it to default, it goes down a little bit. We'll move that back to center and move forward. As you can see, the attachment we have just set to default for the time being. We can set it to scroll so that it does not move, or we can set it to fixed. At the moment, we will put it back to default. Next is the repeating of the image. At the moment, we have no repeat, but if we put it to repeat, you might see the changes. As you can see, it is not repeating the image as the image is fitting neatly. So we will set the repeat back to no repeat. Lastly, for this section, we have the size of the image. As you can see, we currently have it set to cover. We can set it to default, auto, contain, or to even a custom size where we are able to adjust the width. We will now set that back to cover and move forward. We are also able to give the section scrolling effects and mouse effects, as well as an overlay, a border, shape divider, as well as to edit the topography of the section. Scrolling back up, we will come to the Advanced tab. In the Advanced tab, we are able to edit the margin, padding, and so forth. We're also able to add any motion effects, change the responsiveness, and so forth. These you will not need to worry about as they are more in depth. Next, we will move out of the section to the column. As you can see, I have a column here on the left hand side. If I select the Edit column, again we have the options on the left hand side appear. Here we can change the column width, which is not needed since there is only one column. We can change the vertical alignment, horizontal alignment, and so forth. In the styling section for the column, we have the options to add a background, either be it a classic color or image, gradient, or slideshow. We can also add a border to the column, like I will show you now. As you can see, there's a slight border appeared, and we can increase the width to make it thicker. We will now remove the border, and we will continue. In the Advanced tab, we have the options to change the margin and padding settings, as well as the attributes, motion effects, and so forth. Again, you will not really need to worry about this, as this is for more in-depth development. Next, we'll move away from the column to the actual widget. As you can see, we currently have a heading widget inserted. Clicking on the Edit Widget, On the left hand side we have the title. As you can see, we currently have it set to welcome to, and then a code to break the line, and then empty cupboards. So if I were to delete that coding, you can see everything is now entered onto one line. So we will add that coding back in to make a page break. As you can see, it is broken into 2 lines. Next, we are able to add a link to the title, as well as change the size and alignment. Moving on to the styling section. Bear with it one moment. As you can see, we are able to change the text color. We currently have it set to white, but we can change it to whatever color we want. Next, we have the typography. Clicking this button, you can see we have set the font as Times New Roman with a size of 60. Again, we can change any of these settings to however we prefer. Let me put that back to 60. We are also able to edit the weight, transform the text, the style, the decoration, the line height, which is at 1.6, which we can increase or decrease. Let's put that back to 1.6, and the letter spacing. Closing the typography, we are also able to edit the text shadow. We will revert this back to default as we do not need it. In the advanced section, we're able to change the margin settings and the padding. As you can see, we currently have a padding of 250 set at the top and the bottom of this heading. If I was to remove this, you will see that the bar becomes very thin. In order to get that back, we will increase the top padding to 250 and the bottom padding to 250, ensuring our title is sitting in the middle. Moving forward, we can edit the motion effects, background, border, and so forth. Once we are happy that we have made the correct changes to the widget, we can move forward. Scrolling down, we use our mouse cursor to hover over the sections. As you can see, we now have another section appearing here. Again, I can click on the edit section that will bring up all the options on the left hand side, including the layout settings, the styling settings, as well as the advanced settings. Moving away from the section, we will go to the column. Again, we only have one column in the section, and by clicking the edit button, we can change the layout, edit all the styling, as well as change any of the advanced settings however we need. Moving forward, you can see we have a new widget. This is a divider. Again, hovering over it, we will find the option to edit the divider. Clicking edit will bring up the bar on the left hand side. Here we can choose what type of divider we want, so we can change it to dashed. As you can see, we have quite a few options here, and we will set it back to solid. Next, we can change the width, increasing it or decreasing it to the preferred amount. Lastly, we can do the alignment, putting it to the left, the center, or the right. Underneath the style section, we have the option to change the color, the weight, which in this case will be the thickness of the line. Give it one moment. As you can see, it is slightly increased in size, and so forth. In the advanced tab, again, we have the options to edit any margins or padding. As you can see, we currently have a padding of 25 top and bottom for the divider. If we remove this padding, you can see that the spacing decreases by quite a bit. We will put that back to 25, and we will move on. Moving to the next widget, we have a text editor. Again, we will select the edit option, and we will have the bar on the left hand side. Here we're able to change all the text. We're able to change the style, including typography, text color, and so forth. And in the advanced tab, again, we're able to edit the margin, the padding, and so forth. Scrolling down to the next section, we will select edit section. As you can see in this section, we have a background image. So in order to change that, we will go to the style tab. And as you can see, we are on background and we have an image loaded. To change this image, we simply select choose image, and we will select a new image once we are happy, and select insert media. Once you are happy with these changes, you will simply select update, and the changes will be saved to your website.